So what I'm going to do now is put some grease just on the lip of that bearing and put the crankshaft in. So just take a bit of multi-purpose grease and put it in on the lip. You don't have to smother it, of course, but what we basically don't want to do is turn that inside out. I've put a tad more on than that. I've also put a bit on the inside of the bearing to aid the crankshaft pulling through. And then we'll get our crankshaft, and what we have to do with the crankshaft is turn it all the way down or it won't fit in, and it goes in like this as I'm showing you at an angle and turns around. There you go. So that's in, ready to be pulled in. Never hit that with a hammer. Never hit a crank with a hammer unless you truing it up, which is only that way. Surefire way of ruining a good crankshaft. I mean, that bearing's lovely. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn the engine around. Put the hammer underneath there just to balance that up so it's more level. That's the can you see the crankshafts there? So we need to pull that in now. So the easiest way to do that is to use the inside sprocket, that one. I just need to give that a clean. I've not cleaned these up yet prior to using them. I'm just going to give that a bit of a wipe. So that goes on the end of the crank, and your bolt will then start pulling that in. Your bolt and this collar now, I've managed to just push it with my hands just slightly, so it actually is engaging with the collar now. So the collar's on there. So what we need to do now is just put the spring on. We're not worried about aligning anything at the moment, so, and that should start pulling it through with that bolt now. There we go. Let's turn that way. Doing up that bolt. Should now pull the crankshaft through. I can hold the crankshaft the other side anyway, stop it turning. Yeah, that's pulling through. It's actually quite easy. A little bit easier. And what we can do, we can just put some gearbox oil or mineral oil or whatever we want really, and just make sure that that bearing oil seal is watertight. Normally I wouldn't do that, but like I say, it's the first time I've used these oil seals. That should turn lovely and freely. Yes, it is. There's nothing there, it's really nice. That is lovely. So let's put them bits safe. Turn her on her side. What I can do is just get the vise. Let me move you back. Right, I've got the vise just holding. Bring you up a bit because you're too close to the engine there. Bring it up as far as it'll go. Right, so if we pour some oil in here, and we'll just give it, I mean, you can leave it overnight if you want to. I'm just going to fill it up with some Vespa stuff, SAE 30. What I'm basically after is filling that up, and I'll put the thrower washer on. Like so. And we can actually tighten that down again, all of this. I'm just going to stick the pliers back in there again to hold the crank. That's perfect. And then we'll just tighten this bolt back up again. And then what I'm going to do is rotate the crankshaft a few times. Doesn't have to be ultra tight, like I say, I'm only trying to, need to go on the side, it's not in there properly. That's it. I'm not properly tightening anything to do with the crank at the moment. Right, that'll hold the crank. I'll just tighten that down. Right, springs under pressure. And then we take that block out and turn that. And then we're looking for any oil basically to come through down here. Drop you down again. We're looking for any oil inside here. I'm not 100% level there, am I? But I mean, it's turning as free as a bird. Really good. There's no grating noises or anything on the crank, so it's turning lovely. So we're looking for any oil coming out of there. It would come around as we spin in the crank. That seems fine to me, but what I'm going to do is in the next video I'm going to put the mag side, the flange on, and then I'll leave this sit on its side all night with oil in there, just to see that we haven't got any leaks, because it's damn sight easier to take it apart now than you know, when the engine's built up. So and we do need a watertight engine, but as I say, it's very fine. It's a lot finer oil than Lambretta gearbox oil, and you could spray WD-40 if you wanted to in there. So I haven't lined up the sprocket or anything, so it's just been bolted down so that you can see the crank's running level on the bearing, which is what we're after in here. So right, I'm going to end this video, and the next video will be putting the mag side on. Thank you for watching.